South Africa hosts a successful G20 summit, which will leave sustainable legacy, outcomes that benefit all the people of South Africa and the African continent. South Africa's G20 presidency theme is solidarity, equality, and sustainability. South Africa places Africa's pressing issues such as poverty reduction, infrastructure development, and climate change at the center of global discussions. This leadership role strengthens South Africa's diplomatic influence while ensuring that the continent's voice is heard on a global scale. South Africa also aims to facilitate accelerated progress on the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and have the G20 establish a commission to address the debt sustainability for developing economies. This year's summit is significant in many ways. It is occurring only 5 years before the deadline of the United Nations 2030 agenda. As the only African country in the group of 20, South Africa plays a critical role in representing not only its own economic priorities, but also those of the African continent. The G20 provides South Africa with a strategic advantage to advance for increased investments, fairer trade policies, and better financial support for developing nations in Africa and the Global South. As an active member of the G20, South Africa advocates for policies that promote inclusive economic recovery, climate resilience, and sustainable development. The department seeks to ensure that the concerns of the Global South are adequately addressed within the global economic framework. Leaving no one behind is a core promise of the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and serves as a moral and practical obligation for the G20 nations. The principle emphasizes reaching the poorest, most vulnerable, and those further behind, including specific groups such as women, girls, and the disabled people. It calls for the implementation of inclusive, universal, and adaptive social protection systems tailored to the national capabilities to support everyone. The G20 actively works to ensure domestic resources mobilization and cap illicit financial flows as crucial means to finance initiatives that align with the leaving no one behind principle, as is already indicated. G20 groups engagements will provide an opportunity for the masses of the people of South Africa to ensure their views and aspirations are not left behind. As a committee responsible for oversight on behalf of Parliament, it's necessary to engage non-state actors to garner their views and provide them with an opportunity to share their perspectives on the preparations leading to the G20 summit under South Africa's presidency. These G20 engagement groups will make their own recommendations with the aim of influencing the outcomes document to be considered by the leaders in the G20 summit. As an oversight body, the committee seeks to ensure that both government and non-government stakeholders derive maximum benefit from the hosting of the G20 for the first time on the African soil. In wrapping up, the committee feels that it will benefit from non-state actors, their insight, their eagerness in as far as anticipation is concerned, in sharing possible areas of oversight which can assist to strengthen the strategy in all activities leading to the G20 summit and beyond the summit itself. The committee believes that the G20 engagement groups will work to amplify and intensify the diverse voices, perspectives to inform policy and drive progress towards these particular goals. This is the end, ladies and gentlemen, of how we wanted to brief you today about tomorrow, how it will unfold tomorrow. we can now take questions. Suresh, I'm giving over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for the overview. Members of the media, you are now free to put your questions across. And when you do, you may introduce yourself and your institutions. Thank you very much. You may raise your hands.
It means everybody has understood the briefing, Suresh?
Yes.
Yes.
We have some veterans here as well, Chair.
Veterans of the media?
Yes.
Oh, veterans, you are also welcome to this platform. But if there are no questions, then it means we are done. Yes.
Yes, we are.
One thing that I also need to indicate, Suresh, as we discussed yesterday and a few weeks ago, the portfolio committee is going to be introducing some kind of a podcast on a weekly basis where we are going to be engaging on global developments at a geopolitical level on a weekly basis. It's a way of briefing the people of South Africa on geopolitics and how we as the portfolio committee are interacting with those particular matters. In addition, members of the media, South Africans at large, or anyone all over the world will use the existing parliamentary platforms to communicate to us during the week those issues that they think we also need to cover and include in our briefing. That's what we are going to be doing going forward, not only about the G20. So this is what we'll be doing between now and 2029, all things being equal. You will also remember, Suresh, that the portfolio committee has introduced a people-centered mechanism where we want every ward throughout the country to establish some kind of international relations oversight forum, which is going to be looking at the work that we do, but also look at the work that is done by both the presidency and DERCO, and saying to the committee, are they happy with the extent to which we are doing our work? We also want people to use that oversight mechanism to sit in their wards and look at all the trade agreements that South Africa has with various countries, working through the embassies to then say what are the opportunities that they can use as the people on the ground to engage in business, to engage in trade, so that we can exploit progressively these achievements through trade that South Africa has reached. I just thought Suresh must exploit this opportunity to indicate those two opportunities that we are going to introduce as the portfolio committee. Otherwise, thank you very much. If there are no questions, it means we are done for the day.
Chairperson, I think in the absence of questions, it is clear that the media understands the briefing and our state of readiness. We will see you at the colloquium. Just one question from one of the journalists who's asking me on the WhatsApp chats. Okay, Theolin Timber from Independent Media wants to know if it's in person or the colloquium is virtual. It is virtual, Theolin. And then Overcame wants to know how is the committee planning to approach the non-state actors to form part? Are you going to ensure that rural people will take part in the G20? That's a question, Chair, from the Guardian.
The portfolio committee doesn't invite participants to the G20. What the portfolio committee has done all along when we interact with both the presidency and DERCO was to emphasize to them that our focus on international relations must include villages, townships, and small towns. We prefer to refer to it as small dorpies. So we have received an assurance from DERCO that it's not only Gauteng and Durban and Cape Town that will be hosting the preparatory meetings of the G20. As you have seen, some of the provinces have hosted the rural provinces, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Northwest, the Free State, and the Northern Cape. So far, they have been hosting the G20 preparations, and we are happy. But more should be done to make sure that, from a communication perspectives, our people in the villages, in the townships, the numbers must go a little bit higher. But we have an assurance from DERCO, and we are happy that people from the rural areas are being involved.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I think those were the questions the media have understood. The briefing for tomorrow. Welcome, Tara Roos. Chair, then you may now leave. We will see you at 1 o'clock.
Thank you very much.